Hey y'all, welcome to the Suburban Stitcher podcast. Today is January 28th, I believe. So I have a couple of announcements this week. The first is I have two winners. I have finally drawn and I'm here to announce the two winners for the Bed of Roses giveaway that I posted about, oh my gosh, back in December. We're now at the end of January and I'm finally getting the winners drawn for those. But the two winners, there were 77 entries, and the two winners are number 17, Allison Rose Boom, and number 47, Gypsy the dog. So I need both of you ladies to message me your mailing address and I will get those out in the mail to you ASAP. I also want to say a super quick thank you to everybody out on Instagram. If you are a watcher over here and you participated on Instagram, I had this giveaway that is going out in the mail tomorrow, but I want to show you. My sweet friend Hohi Locatelli just published this pattern, Beach Grass Socks, and it's so beautiful. Look at just the texture, and this will be the next pair of socks that I cast on will be this pattern, which is why it's printed out. And I need to finish the one that I am going to show you in works in progress. I've got to finish that sock project first, but this is up next for my next pair of socks. I promise, Hohi. But I did a giveaway for a skein of my yarn. The sun is coming in now, so it's probably going to affect this. But I did a giveaway for a skein of my yarn. I'm in the River's Edge colorway, and this is it reskeined. But it's these beautiful kind of mossy greens and blues. This was the kind of not commemorative, just fundraiser skein, I guess I'll say. Right after Hurricane Harvey evacuated us from our neighborhood for 8 days and affected, we have some damage in our home from the hurricane that we're still trying to deal with. And anyway, this was my fundraiser skein to our local first responders here in our community as a way to say thank you for all of their help for all of us, keeping us safe. And the winner of this is a lucky knitter that lives in Canada, and she is going to be getting this in the mail, hopefully this week. So again, this is the River's Edge colorway. Sorry for the glare, but the sun is just super bright right now. And I have already sent her the copy of the pattern, so she can knit herself some beautiful beach grass socks. And I hope to do some more giveaways on Instagram this year. That's kind of one of my goals. Next up is the Get Suburban Cowl. And I am so excited about this knit along, you guys. There are some beautiful finished objects. We're just in January and we're getting our feet wet with this cowl, and I can't tell you the joy that it brings me to see your finished objects that you make with my yarn. Like, it absolutely fills me up so much. So I'm super excited to announce the winner of the first prize for this cowl. And if you want more details about the cowl, it's a year-long knit along where, as long as the project is mostly knit out of Suburban Stitcher yarn, then it qualifies, and you just one post every time you finish something, and you could win prizes all year long. The winner for this first prize, and I swear, although all of the people that have posted right now are all friends of mine, so it feels like any one of them, it would have felt just great to give them something. But I am super excited to give a prize to my sweet friend Sally Wren. She is Sally, that is not her name, but Sally Wren on Ravelry, Sally of the Wool Slayers podcast, which is a good one to watch if you do not already. And she was the first post in this thread, and she posted a pair of mitts. And so I'm going to show you her project right here. That's this beautiful pair of mitts that she finished out of boyfriend jeans. And it just looks so great. So congratulations, Sally. You are the winner of a pattern from CC Allman. I'm going to get with CC and we'll send a prize, either a download code or just gift you once we get all that squared away. But it will be a prize pattern from Java Pearl Designs on Ravelry. So thank you all so much for participating, and I really encourage you to go over to that thread. There was a Land of Sweets cowl that was made out of Suburban Stitcher minis. It's gorgeous. There is a goldfish memory shawl that was finished out of that. There's some socks. So excited about these finishes. And if you're making something and you're gonna finish it this year, then make sure you put it over there in the Get Suburban photo thread and you could win a prize. The other announcement that I have is I just want to, and this has been for years and I mention it periodically, but I want to say again because I am trying to be more diligent about putting links to things that I talk about. I am an Amazon affiliate, which means that if you get to Amazon via a link for a product that I have put in my show notes, then that means that I get a small percentage of whatever you're purchasing as a thank you for sending you to go purchase that item from Amazon. I get so many questions about a lot of things, a lot of random things, like on Instagram stories. I have been asked so many times about this particular set of headphones, and these are the wireless. I wear them around my neck, so you've probably seen them in my stories quite a bit. And then these headphones sort of pull out here and go like this. These are a lifesaver for when I'm dyeing yarn, for when I am sewing or working, or at night when I'm watching my iPad in bed after my husband's already asleep and I'm still up knitting. Then I can be knitting away and have this, and everything is wireless. It's so great. And then when I'm done, these little things, this little button right here just goes. So this is not a paid advertisement, other than if you do purchase this link that I will put in here, and this is mostly as an example for how this works. If you do purchase this or anything else through an Amazon link that I put in my show notes, I do get a little percentage. And that's a great way to support the podcast, because the podcast is not free. I do get over to iTunes, which cost me money every month to be able to do that, and hosting fees and whatnot. So there is that. I hope that helps and makes sense, and that everybody understands and is this is a normal thing, right? You all get affiliate links. I just wanted to show you a few things that I've been working on. I have finished 2 projects. One is almost done, and I'm just gonna sort of show it to you a little bit, but I don't want to give away too much until it's all the way finished. So what I will show you is that I knit, and I'm not even gonna unfold it. I feel like that's sort of cheating, but I knit this cowl, and it is just folded up here, but I want to show you the yarn and the stitch pattern. This is by Prairie Girl Susie, and the reason it's not finished is I have to add some buttons on it, but the yarn is so beautiful. This is my River's Edge colorway, and I just love how it knit up. All of the blues and greens in there. turned out so pretty. So this is a pattern that's by Prairie Girl Susie, Prairie Girl Designs. It will be coming out soon. I was a test knitter, so this is it. So be on the lookout soon. The next thing that I finished is I finished my 'Twas the Night Before Christmas socks that I started on Christmas Eve. This is a pattern by Danny of Little Bobbins. You can see the tree detail on the leg. I knit this out of Lavender Loon yarn in the Hearthside colorway. And I'm just absolutely in love with the pops of color, the speckles, all of it. So that is that. So 2 things finished, which is just so exciting. I am still very much in the, I'm not casting on a whole lot of new things right now, and I'm just working through some projects that are already on the needles. This is one of the newer projects. I did start it this year, but it's really the only thing on the needles that I've started and haven't finished yet in 2018. But this is my Maylene, I think, Maylene Hat, M-A-L-E-N-E. It was a pattern that was in Lane Magazine #1. I showed it last episode. I'm just slowly plugging away at this. It's so soft and squishy, I can't even tell you. But this is 3 yarns marled together. I have 2 skeins of Madeline Tosh Merino Light and 1 skein of Shibui Silk Cloud. And I will show you the 3 colors sort of here in the bag individually, so you can see. Ooh, maybe you can't see. There we go. So here are the 2 colors of Mad Tosh Light. I don't know what this one is. This one is Celadon, and that darker teal is the Silk Cloud from Shibui, and it's in the either pool or some sort of tealy blue, water, aqua, something like that colorway. But yeah, I am just really excited about this. It is going to be a hat with a huge fold-up brim that's going to be so warm and cozy when it's all done. I still have, I don't know, this is maybe 30 rounds of 1x1 ribbing, and I think I need at least 10 or 12 more before I can start knitting the actual pattern. So as you can tell, I have quite a bit to go, but this is just sort of brainless, meditative knitting whenever I decide to pick it up and work on it. There's no rush whatsoever. I'm just enjoying it, and I really love, gosh, I love how it's looking on the camera. I just love the marling of the yarns. So sweet. This is a ice cream cone narwhal stitch marker from Sugar Tots on Etsy, because I know someone will ask. And this is living in a Mrs. Brown's bag. This was the bag from our first collaboration. That was the Evenings in Edmonton colorway. This is my hand-dyed yarn. And I say first because that may be a hint that another one is in the works. So that's exciting. I've put a little bit of work into that. I finished that pair of Lavender Loon socks, and so then I needed to pull out another pair of socks that were on the needles to focus on. And the pair that I chose is this pair. I have not worked on these in quite some time. I think that when I can tell where, because there's like a weird row where the needles sat in it for so long. I picked it up right about here, right there. And I have done the rest of the foot, put in the heel, and I am knitting on the leg of the sock. The yarn that I'm using is Yarn Ink, what is it? Neverland. I cast this on maybe last January or last February, but it is in the Neverland colorway. And so it's a beautiful sort of vanilla section with an undyed section and lots of pink and blue sort of carnival confetti speckles. I love, love, love this. I love like you can see it better on the back here. It's sort of micro striping. I love that. And the pattern that I am knitting is, I feel like it's like the Weasley family socks or something like that. I can't remember the full name, but it's by Molly of A Homespun House. And I just love everything about this. I brought this to church today to knit on in the service. I always knit in church. I'm sure I'm not the only one. But yeah, I'm just really, really loving how these are turning out. And this is the first sock. So I had put it away with just not even 1/4 of it done, and it sat for almost a year. So it's definitely time to get these off of the needles. And this is the charm for, this is from SOOOO Miniatures, and it has this cute little rainbow candy on it. This was the charm that she created as a Rainbow Along exclusive for last year. And so yeah, so it's just about Rainbow Along time this year. So it's perfect timing to bring this out and start working on it again. That's the only sock whip that I'm concentrating on. And then the shawl project that I have pulled back out and put some attention into is my What the Fade. And over the last couple of days, I've really spent quite a few knitting minutes working on this, and I have made quite a bit of progress. I didn't have a marker for exactly where I was when I picked it up. However, here's where I am now. So all of this yarn is hedgehog fibers. I'm gonna stand up and back a little bit so you can see. So I'm using all hedgehog fibers. I completed the brioche portion, back when it was a mystery still. This is the front side. So I know I'm using Oracle. Little Women is somewhere in here. And then this colorway I think is like Foxglove, sort of the light gray top color there. And then the back colors here, the lighter colors are Crybaby, Bee's Knees, is that one of the, something about bees, and then Banana Legs is the bright yellow. And so now here in this garter stitch section, I have used all of the banana legs that I will be using for until the tassels at the end. I've gotten rid of the Bee's Knees, used all of that until the end. And I've done most of the Crybaby, this last white here. I'm gonna come back up close so that you can see I have just started to do one row of that gray. I don't know if you can tell, but that Foxglove, I think that's what the colorway is called. It was a club colorway. Oh, and I should also say that this Little Women colorway, that's this one that has the blue speckles, kind of this middle color in between the Foxglove and the Oracle, was a Jimmy Beans Wool exclusive that I believe is not available anymore. So a couple of exclusive colors in here. Sorry about that, but everything else is readily available in other places. So that is that. I know that I was somewhere in the fade section for the Bee's Knees and the Crybaby when I picked this up a few days ago, and I have made, like I said, quite a bit of progress. If I had to guess, I would say it was somewhere around here. So I have put at least 20 or so rows in, which, you know, as this thing gets bigger, is pretty substantial. Right now I have almost 400 stitches on the needles, probably, let's see, 397 stitches on the needle. So, and you increase every right side row. So it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, as you all know. But I'm just so, I have fallen in love with this again. I'm so excited about it. I wove in all of my ends last night. So I'm looking at one here that I don't know if it popped out or if I just missed it last night. It's one that I have to give some attention to, but everything else is woven in, and yeah, so it's just the stuff that I'm working on. But I'm really excited about this shawl, mostly because it is such a departure from my normal color palette, and I can't wait to wear it. I think it's going to be just a super fun, super squishy addition to my wardrobe. So it's already so big. It's really not travelable too much for me anymore, which is fine because most of this is perfect for like sitting in the bed at night and, you know, doing a few rows in the evening and things like that. So that is really it for works in progress. Okay, so the last thing that I want to show you, this is my Hello Lovelies for this week, and I've actually had this for quite some time. I got this before Christmas, so I've had it for a month, and I haven't shown it, and I debated whether or not to because, you know, sometimes when you do swaps and they're just personal swaps, I just don't know what to do or how to. But this one is so generous and kind and wonderful, and I know that you all already know about this amazing person, but if there is someone out there that's not familiar with her work, then maybe this is the thing that gets you over to her because she is so talented and amazing and generous. But Sandy of By the Lakeside and I did a swap. We are both, I don't know if she's cast hers on yet, and I'm hoping to cast mine on in February. That's sort of my personal little goal. But I really, really got motivated after watching her Vlogmas to pull some yarn out and knit a Land of Sweets cowl. I think that's what it's called. By Helen Stewart. It was part of Knit Vent, and the pattern is so beautiful. And she and I were talking about it and talking about colors, and we decided to do a personal swap. And she went above and beyond. Like, I am so ashamed of what I sent her because she spoiled me rotten. But she sent me this beautiful bag, one of her By the Lakeside bags, which, I mean, quite honestly, I have tried several times to get in an update and I am not quick enough. So this, in and of itself, even beyond the yarn that we were swapping that I knew was coming, like I literally screamed when I opened this package. So the other reason I love this is she is such an avid chef and cook, and this just looks like her to me. This reminds me of her because so much of her, especially her Vlogmas over the holiday was centered on her cooking and preparing and shopping and her cookbook collection that she has. And so I feel like she literally just sent a piece of herself to me with this bag being the kitchen fabric. She sent me a coordinating little notions pouch that's all padded and beautiful. So cute. I love the colors so much. She sent me all of these minis for My Land of Sweets cowl, most of which are yarn dyers that I do not have. Like, I think all except for one are brand new yarn dyers to me. So that's so exciting. Yeah, they're the only one on here that I have ever used before is Hedgehog Fibers. Everything else is brand new. So that's really fun. She sent me quite a collection of David's tees that I have been saving, and I'm going to use them probably this week. And she also, you know, sent me a card and beautiful things, and she sent me one of her enamel pins, and it promptly went on my fringe supply bag. So she sent me her By the Lakeside little patchwork bag enamel pin. And so I have it over here with some of my favorite online podcaster knitting friend pins, which is so exciting. So thank you so much, Sandy. I love, 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 love it. And I think that I'm going to cast mine on in February. And since there's 28 days in February, maybe that'll be my Olympic project. That would be kind of fun too. My Olympic knitting. We'll have to see. I'm on such a finishing place right now that it feels strange to even be thinking about casting on something new, because I'm really enjoying finishing projects. But I don't know. Maybe that would be a good plan, is that would be my my Olympic knitting, to knit a couple of sections every evening, or at least get it started and get a lot of it going during Olympics. We'll see. I hadn't even thought about that, so that's really fun. But I think that's it for this week. So I hope that you all have just a lovely time until I see you again. And, oh, no, shop news. And there's big shop news right now because I haven't podcasted, so you haven't seen this. And it's something that you're going to want to see for sure. So hold that thought. Okay, so there are shop news is the spring, the first kind of 3.5 months of the year are so packed full with Suburban Stitcher events that it is going to be quite hard for me to keep up with shop and preparing for events. And the only thing I can say is that I'm just going to do my best with everything. I am still only me. I am the only person that does 100% of Suburban Stitcher. The only thing I don't do is my own accounting. My husband does all of the bills and accounting, but everything else is me. So all of the labeling, winding, dyeing, packaging, shipping, correspondence, everything is me. And that all together is about 3 full-time jobs. So I work a lot of hours all the time, and I love every second of it, but it just means that I can't do everything. So all of that to say, your best bet to get fun new Suburban Stitcher colors every month for the next couple of months anyway is going to be the monthly color of the month. I have decided that going forward, I am going to you will see what you're getting. So it's not a mystery. It's not I don't think it's going to be a theme where you would not know pretty much exactly what you're getting beforehand. I like you to know. that just feels better to me. I like you to know what you're getting because I don't want anyone to feel disappointed when they open up a package from me, because I have been disappointed by mystery clubs that I get, and then you open it up and you just go, oh man, I really hate red or whatever, you know, and I want someone to open it up and feel excited because they knew what they were getting. So if that is you and you are excited about my yarn, then the monthly things for the next few months is going to be your way to go. So that being said, I want to show you the February, I feel like I've got to sit up straight, the February yarn of the month. And this is up now in the shop for pre-order. It's being dyed very quickly and going out pretty quickly within less than a week right now. So, so go out and buy it all up. The colorway is called Mixtape Romance, and as soon as this color came out of the dye pots, I knew that it was going to be something for Valentine's Day, something that was kind of 80s inspired, 80s, 90s inspired, because it just felt like the really kitschy, cheesy Valentine colors from my youth. And like I could just picture that like this color would have been on a stuffed animal that was holding a mixtape from like my 14-year-old boyfriend or something like that. so there the name was born, Mixtape Romance. But it is the kind of colorway that is very variable on every single skein that pops out. So I'm showing you all of these to demonstrate that. So these are all in the single ply yarn. Perfect for shawls. How gorgeous would that be? This is a couple of skeins on glitter. So these actually, like this batch was a lot more pink. And then this batch showed up with a lot more purple. There's also this like tomato red in here that I absolutely love. And then the minis, you can get this in minis. And then the coordinating heel toe, I think it's called the mini coordinate that I put with it, kind of pulls out that tomatoey orangey red, which I just thought would be a super fun, like very different contrast to the yarn. So that is in the shop, and like I said, it's shipping very, very quickly, so you're welcome to go get it now. There's a lot of single ply yarn and glitter sock in the shop, and I would love for you to clean it out. So I think that's it for sure. Hope that y'all have a great week or two until I see you again, and come see me at the trunk show in League City, Texas, February 10th, trunk show at Park Avenue Yarns. I hope to see you all there. Bye.